Well, good evening. Welcome to the November 17th City Council meeting. Call that to order. We have presentations right out of the gate. Mr. Mayor, right? We're short of a soccer team.
It's a soccer team, aren't we?
Well, we have one soccer player in the front row.
Are you just finding out with us right now? Okay.
Well, you tell these fine people your name and what you guys just took care of at the song.
All right.
I know we only tried one game. I don't know if you got who it was. And you didn't lose it. We didn't lose the game, so we technically were undefeated.
Incredible powerhouse. Well, congratulations. Okay, moving on to the next item. John?
Just, yeah.
All right, excited tonight to talk to you and give you a brief update. You guys were kind enough 2 years ago to appropriate a significant sum of money towards the school systems innovation efforts. So if you recall, we were managing things quite well, and we wanted to invest in our community where we thought we could make a difference. And one of the areas that we really thought we could come alongside is our school system and our teachers who are doing innovative work each and every day in our classrooms. And so we set up $500,000, set aside $500,000 to invest in our teachers. And then each year since then, we funded it another $50,000. Jordan Alexander, who really our chief of staff, who's really run point on this on the city side, she's on maternity leave with her young daughter, who everyone's doing quite well, and she's enjoying her time off. But her counterpart on the civilian side was Mike Fazold, who, if you don't know Mike, he did an incredible job when he was an educator at HSE schools. And we really wanted to have educators lead this initiative and trying to identify what should we invest in and what can we do with those funds. And so I'm gonna have Mike come up and kind of tee this up, and then we also have some students here tonight that are direct beneficiaries of the innovation dollars that went into our schools. Mike?
Well, some of you know me really well, and you know that if I get a chance to talk, that I'm not going to take it. But what I'm going to do is I want to cover a couple things about the grant that we have done. And I'm going to emphasize, I was so happy to find out that Jordan's coming back, because me too. But Jordan has been key as far as a liaison to balance the city with the needs of the teachers that we have talked about. I cannot emphasize her enough. And then the other people on my committee, Amy Murch, some of you may know from Connor Prairie, Kaylee Arndt, who is we are blessed with, because she's a STEM educated teacher who left the position because of a whoops baby, but wanted to give back to the school system and worked at the DOE for a while doing STEM education. And then somebody that I have a deep respect for named Brad Jackson. And if you've been around this district long enough, and you know who Brad Jackson is. But our committee has kind of formed some lanes of things that we have found. The district itself has put a focus kind of on STEM, starting from the top down. You see, they just had a kind of a robotics kind of trial thing at the junior high level and that kind of stuff. But our committee, made up of a lot of elementary focus, has focused on the elementary schools. And I kind of believe in the VBS model. Get them early, get them often. If you want STEM to work, you got to get it to them in elementary school. Until you have watched kids program robots in second grade, you have not yet lived through the experience. But we have formed a real STEM thing, and we're talking easily, if you take the Makerspace stuff, $160,000 in STEM projects we've planted throughout the elementary schools. We've done a ton of VR. It's funny, we put VR first off in E&L classrooms to try to equal out the experience for our E&L population in conversation. So instead of talking about Greek civilizations, they can see, touch, and I mean literally touch. We've But the VR thing that I think I enjoyed the most, and I didn't realize the mayor could weld like I can weld, if you know how to weld. If you've ever done that, we put a VR welding thing up at the high school. If you've ever welded, you know that your mistakes are plentiful and all mistakes are costly. And we put a VR welder up there that allows them, instead of spending $95 every time they make a mistake welding, they spend $0. And they can do that over and over and over again. And it reads out everything from angle to speed to temperature and the rest. It is pretty amazing to do. But what we have, we did those lanes. We've done E&L stuff to help our E&L population in real-time translation because the class that gives E&L kids the greatest amount of trouble is math, because if you remember your math classes, they don't go slow. And it's hard to keep up, but we don't want to lose people in math. And so we made that real-time, a lot of resources to real-time math. But the other thing that we did is we have planted a ton of media resources at Hanover Southeastern High School. And we did that, and as the committee, we did that because not that we believe so much in just media, we believe that kids that get an opportunity to create something, be responsible to something, have an audience for that thing, those lessons are greater than just the class. It's literally the goal of every person in business is to have a staff that can do that. And so the 4 people behind me, we asked last fall to their teachers, we updated all the equipment up at HSE High School, and they are an amazing group if you've not seen their work. And we asked them to put on for them to go out and show you what a student-led production would look like, showing how the grant has worked. And so I just told Lily, the team threw under the bus and said she was team leader, and I'm gonna have Lily come up here and tell you what they did, and then I'm gonna let her key in her video presentation. All right, Lily, team leader.
Hi, my name is Lily Perez. I'm here with my PR team, Lauren Kudalowski, Will Ellenwood, and Joey Justice. We all go to Hamilton Southeastern High School, and we're part of the Southeastern Media Network there. I just want to say we had such a great time with this opportunity being a part of our externship program, and we got to partner with the City of Fishers and create this video that really showcased the effect of the grants both in our school and in other schools around us. We got to go to, I think it was 6 schools, and learn about maker spaces, welding, and just like fun things for kids to enjoy. I didn't know that we had so many animals and opportunities for kids of all ages from kindergarten all the way to 12th grade. So I just want to thank you guys for letting us have this opportunity, and I hope you guys enjoy the video we worked so hard on.
Imagination is something we're all born with. Sometimes school doesn't always foster that. Sometimes we can stifle that a little bit.
A lot of things going on in HSE now don't allow teachers to get out and get their own professional development.
And virtual welders are not cheap to get.
I had to have enough equipment for 6 separate film teams. I could not have gotten this kind of equipment on my own.
Car maker space was an underutilized space. It was really a glorified closet.
So the innovation grant allowed us to really expedite the timeline to be able to make this available to the students at Cumberland Road. You see kids utilizing space like this and the energy they bring to an idea or a concept you had. I think that's what warms my heart the most.
But this was an in-person opportunity to study at the Library of Congress, and without this grant, we would not have been able to travel there. So the money was key, or we wouldn't have been able to go on this trip.
Just recently took it to Durban Elementary School, and we had over 60 kids that actually got to experience what a virtual welder is and see if that would be something along the career lines that they may want.
The movie we made last year was just accepted into Indiana Heartland International Film Festival in general competition, not even a student category. So we're competing against other professional films. This is truly unique, and things like this would be possible through grants like the one we got from the city and other organizations. So I thank you, and I hope you continue to support other innovative classes like this.
In simple terms, this redesign of our makerspace is really to support our 3 pillars of our STEM program, which is environment, agriculture, and engineering. Hands-on learning is really helpful for a lot of students, and makerspaces really lend themselves well for kids to learn instead of theoretically relevant learning, and so they can actually get their hands in and on things to help design and create.
So again, I just want to thank Mike and the entire team for putting on that video, but also just Mike's countless hours of evaluating all of these different opportunities. And it's a call also to teachers if they have ideas. We're still fielding new ideas, correct, Mike? Absolutely. And so we're going to continue this forward. And in your guys' 2026 budget, you allotted another $50,000. So I do not know of too many communities out there that are putting money directly into the classroom. So we're very excited to do this, and thank you guys for your support.
I have a quick question. I was at the school board meeting when they talked about the children's the movie that the students created that competed at Heartland. When will that be available for the community to see?
Well, we've talked about combining with the Fisher's art department, and Jordan, before she left, put in contact Jamie Follis, who sponsors that, with your art department for them to do a film showing thing here in the city, which we think is a perfect kind of blending of where the city gets return on that, but also that the community benefits from that. And if you've not seen it's not what we funded for them, they could do their major film. What we did was we created them to be able to do shorts. And so that way, instead of because those kids check out the resources in the beginning of the year, well, on that film crew, that's it. You don't see that equipment again until they're done. We gave them equipment so that they wanted to enter into the short film creation, and this is what allowed them to do that. Oh, they're amazing. And especially when you realize that they're, 15, 16, 17, 18 years old. Well, I didn't do anything, but but I appreciate that. No, you're welcome.
All right, thank you, Mr. Fossil. And students will move on to council committee reports. Mr. Weingart, the Finance Committee.
Thank you, John. The Finance Committee met last Wednesday. Following items were recommended for approval this evening. Item 7B, resolution of Common Council and controller transfer certain funds. Item 8 on the agenda, item 9, item 10, and item 11. We also talked about our stormwater fee billing being done on a monthly basis rather than an annual basis, which that'll be part of our council meeting tonight.
All right, thank you, John.
You're
and
welcome.
The Health Department report is available for anyone that would like to see that online. Move on to the consent agenda.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by John, second by Selena. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, motion passes. On to the regular agenda.
Evening. For the record, Lisa Bradford, City Controller. Item number 8 before you, the request to approve an additional appropriation, relates to an additional appropriation for the Economic Development Fund. When we contemplated the 2025 budget for the Economic Development Fund, we had contemplated purely the debt service. Due to the timing, as you guys are well aware, the event center finished construction in late November last year, with the city required to be on cash basis. We had some trailing professional service costs related to that construction of the event center. So what this does is allow us to pay those funds within the budget for the Economic Development Fund. Happy to answer any questions, and then I'll step aside if there's public comment.
Right, so comments and non-public hearing? Any questions or comments from? All right, I'll call to order the public hearing. All right, I will close the public hearing. Hi, Lisa.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Again, motion by John, a second by Todd. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, motion passes.
All right. Item 9 before you is an amendment relating to the City View project. If you recall, the City View project is in downtown Fishers, in the area right next to First Internet Bank. At the time last year, we had contemplated and entered into a bond anticipation note. This was due to some various things coming up, such as potential reduction in interest rates. And so as that bond anticipation note is coming due, we're looking to roll that for a number of years. And so what this amendment does is allow us to roll that, let that project get up, developed, and start generating increment. And so this amendment will allow us to explore all potential options for the best case in financing that bond. Happy to answer any questions. If there are no issues, we would ask that you suspend the rules and pass, just so we can get this wrapped up and finalized before December and the end of the year.
Questions, comments, or a motion?
I'll make a motion to suspend the rules.
Second.
All right, motion by Todd, second by John to suspend the rules. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Motion to approve.
Motion to suspend the rules is approved, then Todd, that's a motion to approve it, okay?
Second.
Motion by Todd, second by John. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion passes. And we've got R 111725E.
Okay. This item before you relates to transferring funds. If you will recall, when we approved the bond for the permanent financing of the State Road 37 and 141st Street interchange, we had that listed as a project along with other potential land acquisitions. Those projects were all spelled out in the bond ordinance documents that were approved. This item before you allows us to transfer the funds to the Town Hall Building Corp for that land acquisition for those projects that were previously named and discussed. Happy to answer any questions.
If I can make a comment, this is just a statutory thing that we do to transfer these funds. And if I remember, the amendment agreement actually has the projects listed out that we're looking at as far as going to be using these dollars for.
Yes.
And we need to do that, otherwise the money's just going to sit there.
Yes, so
We got
it
these
does,
bond
yeah,
proceeds, we need to take
list.
advantage of them and use them based upon the debt that we've already incurred.
Yes, yeah, and those projects are all listed in the general areas of where that land acquisition would be occurring, yeah.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, motion by John, second by Selena. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion passes. The government miscellaneous.
I'm going to cover this one. As we mentioned, we had discussed this at Finance Committee last week. This item before you amends the Stormwater Code of Ordinances. And so in the Stormwater Code of Ordinances, it says that our residential stormwater billing occurs annually. So what we are doing is we are in the process of changing that so it will be a monthly bill. And as you guys have seen this year, now with the addition of trash, you get your sewer bill and you get your trash bill. And so in 2026, we're going to throw on that stormwater bill. So you'll have all three, and then you'll have one number for everything. You won't have a separate sewer account number, and you won't have a separate stormwater account number. And this is for just residential, so all single-family homes and condo units that are considered homeowners. So this will allow us to change the ordinance to let us do that monthly. And so our anticipated plan is to roll this out for what would be the first full bill of 2026 when we have the slight increase to the trash rate, and then we'll roll the stormwater bill onto that. Happy to answer any questions.
I have a question here. So if this is first reading and you want to do it on a 2026, do we need to suspend the rules?
We can suspend the rules, but because the first bill of the sewer is in arrears, so people won't see in a January, like a bill due January, you wouldn't see it. So it'll actually be, I believe, the bill due in March where you would first see this come through, because It's the bill generated in February, due in March.
Okay,
So
'cause
happy, you can do whatever, but there is some time just because of the nature of the trash or the sewer bills.
Might as well suspend it, get it over with.
Okay.
I make a motion to suspend.
Okay, second.
All right, motion by Todd, second by Selena to suspend the rules.
I think Bill had.
Oh, sorry, Bill.
I'm sorry. We can vote on the suspension, I just have a question on. Okay. Sure. You want to vote on?
Yeah, yeah, sure. All those in favor of suspending the rules? Aye. Opposed? All right, so that passes, but yeah, Bill, please.
Just for the record, and for Larry, could you explain what the yearly cost is that would be monthly on our bill?
The residential bill is $79.92, and so it's $666 monthly. That will, that will be, and so then when it comes in, and Ashley's PR team has a communication to roll this out too, because it will coincide with if you guys will recall, there's a annual increase for the Republic billing too, so that they'll come in correlation with one another.
Just wanted people to know that it's not an increase, it's
No,
just
it's just
trying to help smooth out the payments.
trying to get rid of another account number for some people, so.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, thanks, Bill.
Make a motion to approve.
All right, motion by John, second by Tiffany to approve. All those in favor, say aye. Aye.
Thank you.
Opposed? All right, motion passes. Lindsay?
Good evening, Council. I'm Lindsay Bennett, Corporation Counsel. I'm here tonight on a very simple amendment to Section 32.62 of the Code of Ordinances. We are essentially adding 2 members to the Fishers Advisory Committee on Disability. So because that is an ordinance, we just had to make a simple change from 9 voting members to 11 voting members. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Any questions? It's first reading. Any questions?
You want us to suspend?
We certainly can. I mean, it's nothing that's pressing, but if you're comfortable with suspending.
Okay, roll on. Make a motion to suspend the rules and pass on first reading.
A motion by John, second by, was that Selena? Tiffany, sorry, to suspend the rules and take action on the first reading. Is there a motion to do that? I don't know.
We need to vote.
It's a twofer, okay.
We got a motion, got a second. We need to vote.
On suspending the rules,
Yes,
right?
correct.
Yeah, I'm sorry,
Yes,
all
sir.
those in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Oh, all right, motion passes. Sorry, John.
Make a motion to approve.
Motion by John, was that you, Todd? No. Second by Bill. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? All right, motion passes.
Thank you, Council.
Thanks, Lindsay.
Good evening, council members. For the record, Monica Heltz, Public Health Director. The new one that you have in front of you is some updates to the health ordinance, specifically the food code and the miscellaneous fee schedule. We are asking, if it pleases the council, to suspend the rules, if that's okay, and pass on first read so that we can be ready for the permit period that opens December 1. Happy to entertain any questions that you might have at all.
Can you just give us an overview of what some of the changes are?
Yeah, so the primary purpose of the changes is really to put our food code in line with the code changes that were enacted at the state level this session. So they basically updated it from a 2005 FDA code to a 2022 FDA code. So that's a good thing. And then this lines up our fee structure with some of those changes so that the permitting fees are not based on how many employees a facility has, but how many, but what the risk level is to the public based on the type of food they serve, and then how many inspections we have to do as a result of that. It also has some built-in incentives for operators that are doing all the right things and that have strong performance, so that we're not penalizing anyone for that reason. So It is overall, it should result in a slight increase in revenue for us, but that's the primary driver is those changes to the state food code.
Owners here in town about the changes.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons for not bringing it to you sooner. We had some timing with the health board, and then we wanted to make sure to talk to all the operators. So we did send out an email to all of our permit holders, notifying them of a webinar opportunity. We held a webinar for them. That webinar has been recorded. We have a fact sheet on the website. That information was also communicated out in a second email to all of the operators. We have received no questions from any of the operators at this point.
No, thank you.
How do you like your new offices?
Ooh, it's very nice. Thank you so much for asking. I have a good view of all the people coming in and out of the community center, and we really enjoy being on the front of the community center and all the increased traffic that we've been seeing and questions about what we can do for our residents. So you'll see some new services coming out in 2026.
So I have a question about these fees. So you go in, you do an inspection, there's a fee. You know, we first came out with the grade, and we've had, how effective is it really, these fees, of getting them to go from the lower grades to bump up their grades in the inspections?
So the grading primarily is effective based on the incentive that's on their window and the bottom line of the traffic that comes based on the grade, right? That's been really effective, actually, and we've seen those grades increase across the board. So a lot of the folks that were more troublesome, had a lot more issues, you know, with education, and with that extra incentive of the grade, their performance has improved over time. So that's been really, really helpful. This new structure is a bit of a different take on that, and but it lines up the grading scale with the FDA standards and the state food changes. So it's kind of a really nice way to integrate all of that together. And the grading scale, having the grading scale in place really helps with that.
I also appreciate Monica's proactive communication with the restaurant community. So having that Zoom call and entertaining any questions. There really weren't any questions from the restaurant community, but I think it's also a more accurate reflection of the higher risk ones that we have to inspect more often. Those fees should be more reflective of the time we're spending in that restaurant versus ones that, let's say, a coffee shop or a gas station. Although a burrito on the roller at a gas station may be a higher risk depending upon how you view it. But nonetheless, I think the Board of Health did a good job of looking through this, and then I think Monica's done a good job of reaching out and communicating with folks.
Monica, is this something that's time sensitive this evening?
Yeah, so we are asking for a suspension of the rules, if it's okay with you, because our permit period for 2026 opens December 1 through December 31st. So we want to make sure we have all of the changes in place before that opens. I will also just mention there's one other fee that's not related to food facilities that we're requesting a change for, and that's mostly just semantics, but for death certificate issuing, we have to give a certain amount each year, each certificate to the coroner's continuing education fee, and that has a laid out fee structure that's tied to the Indiana code, so just trying to separate that out so it can stay fluid and we don't have to go to you every time that has that structure change.
I'll make a motion to suspend the rules.
I'll second it.
All right, motion by Todd, and second by John to suspend the rules. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, motion passes.
Motion to approve.
Motion by Todd to approve, second by Tiffany, is it? I know. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, motion passes.
Thank you.
Molly.
Good evening, Council. For the record, Megan Baumgartner, Director of Community and Economic Development for the city. Tonight is a first amendment to the amended and restated Union and Crossing Project Agreement. So as a reminder, the Union area is just south of Fisher's District in the Yard today with Thompson Thrift. That project agreement contemplates allocation areas and the tax increment from those going towards at the crossing development that then goes towards the Union project. So today, we're not asking for a change of any of the dollar amounts or commitments at all. We're just asking to condense, instead of 3 different allocation areas at the crossing development, into one.
So the commitments of the minimum taxpayer agreements associated with those does not change, just the true location and the condensing into one property. Happy to answer any questions on this one.
So is that for action? This one?
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by John, second by Todd. To approve, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, I'll be fine, man.
Good evening. For the record, the next item before you is item number 16, which is 100625A, which is consideration of text amendment to the UDO, Chapter 3, Chapter 5, and Chapter 12. This first item is a cleanup item. Before you guys approved our CeeLo Commercial Low Impact District last year, there was an error on 4A. It should have said maximum instead of minimum, so that is shown here. And then in Chapter 5 and Chapter 12, we are outlining the definition of a car condominium. That was something that was previously not in the UDO, so that is better to serve our staff when being requested if that is an allowed use. Happy to answer any questions on both those items.
Do we have any?
Car condominiums?
Yeah.
No.
We're just anticipating some?
We have had inquiries, correct.
Thank you.
Any other questions or motions?
Motion to approve.
Yes, Selena made a motion.
Motion to approve.
All right, motion by Selena, second by Tiffany. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right, motion passes.
Again, Ross Hillary, City of Fishers, Community and Economic Development. The next item before you is item number 17, which is 111725F. Consideration of a rezone of 1.3 acres from R2 to CeeLo Commercial Low Impact District with conditions. Those conditions include a maximum square footage of 7,500 square feet and a use for memory care. Before you, again, is a rezone request. The address is 10982 and 1990 Brook School Road. So our commercial impact district allows for office, medical office, beauty hair salon, day spa, and nail salon, and a maximum square footage of 4,500 square feet, which you guys just approved on the last one. So they're requesting a memory care use at this residential property here, as well as an increase of the maximum square footage. This is the first reading tonight. We do anticipate it going before Plan Commission and back to City Council. And I do have Rick Lawrence with Nelson Frankenberger and Story Cottage here to give a short presentation.
Good evening. For the record, my name is Rick Lawrence. I'm an attorney with Nelson and Frankenberger with offices in Carmel. With me here tonight is David Lesenby on behalf of the applicant. We represent Story Custom Development and Story Cottage. By way of general background, Story Cottage offers a boutique memory care concept to senior residents where compassion meets luxury. Story Cottage is dedicated to providing a unique and personalized approach in a safe, home-like environment, including individual bedrooms, community spaces, and tailored activities to assist its residents in feeling purposeful engagement. There's examples of Story Cottage products at 13633 Cary Road in Carmel if you'd like to visit that, or 1840 West Main Street, again in Carmel. There's also senior group homes located throughout the Indianapolis area. Approval of this rezone request will allow Story Cottage to provide an innovative living solution for people with memory loss in the city of Fishers. The site location map is shown on the screen now. The real estate, as Ross indicated, has common address of 10982 and 10990 Brook School Road. It totals about 0.86 acres
and is currently zoned residential R2. Ultimately, the 2 lots will be platted into one. It's a close-up of that. The exhibit now on display is a concept site plan of the property. While residents will not have their own vehicles, parking will be provided to accommodate guests and caregivers on the east side there. It is anticipated the group home will generate less traffic than a single-family home. The site plan has been laid out to provide the ability to turn around and exit straight onto Brook School Road, so no one has to back onto Brook School Road. And the outdoor space on the property is anticipated to be fenced around the outdoor patio area in this site plan you see. Additionally, the goal is to create a visually appealing and well-landscaped residence. On the screen now is a building perspective, a concept building perspective of the front elevation of the home. The rest of the home, the sides, rear elevations, will be similar detailed as you see here. The home will consist of 12 bedrooms to accommodate a maximum of 12 residents, including community space, kitchen space, and a small outdoor patio as shown by that concept plan. And here are some pictures of other homes that they have built. One of the bedroom areas. In conclusion, Story Cottage will be designing a custom designed home that will accommodate the needs of residents by providing thoughtful support in smaller, more comfortable, and predictable settings that will blend well into the surrounding residential area. With that, I will conclude my presentation, but I would note that if you have any questions, we're here to answer those tonight, and that this matter is scheduled for the Planning Commission presentation on December 3rd. We have had some informal outreach to the neighbors, and at this point it's been very well received, and we'll continue that outreach as the matter progresses through the process. Thank you.
Any questions?
Would you consider putting another one of those next to Brick Fall?
Exactly what I was thinking.
I am sure my client would be happy to look at any potential lots you have that might be available for this. I can get you his contact information.
They've been great to talk to. I know Megan and Ross and I have all met with them, and it's a great product. So, yeah.
I can get you the contact info.
Well, we could probably do 3 or 4 out.
This is also a great use for some of our orphan properties that we talk about that are kind of wedged along the road, and we're not sure how to use them or what the new use could be. This is a low impact development that fits right into the landscape, so to speak. So we look forward to working with these guys through the process, and hopefully not just this product, but additional ones as needs arise.
Yeah, I appreciate you outreaching to the neighbors around there. This looks really good. And again, just it's always good to have the neighbors around you understand and also appreciate what you're doing. So thank you.
Everyone's job easier.
Yeah, and I've been to several of the other ones. That's what they look like. They're really beautiful, well done.
That's a really good look. I think it's going to fit in nicely.
Thank you. Any other?
So just one building, one structure?
Yes, one structure.
And is this property currently in the city?
Yes.
Don't have to annex?
No.
Okay, thank you.
First reading.
Okay, first reading. Thank you. All right, and then R111725F, is that right, Ross?
Yes, for the record, Ross Hillary, City of Fishers. The next 2 items I will go over together. So item 18 and 19 is the Linwood Hills annexation. Item 18 is R111725F, and item 19 is 111725E. This is a request to approve a resolution adopting the fiscal plan for the Linwood Hills annexation, as well as the first reading of the Linwood Hills annexation. Summary of this annexation, this is pretty large. So this is 77 acres along Allisonville on 131st Street. It is a total of 159 homes. There are 162 lots within this neighborhood. So currently we are doing a sewer project in this area, anticipated to start next year. We've had 3 neighborhood meetings earlier this month, and so happy to answer any questions along with Lindsay.
Those all subject tank?
Yes.
Yes.
I really want to thank Jeremy and Jonathan from DPW who worked on this to get state dollars, along with just working with all the neighborhoods and Lindsay shepherding this through this process. It's an opportunity where we've got a lot of septics that are getting pretty antiquated, and some maybe even failing. And here's an opportunity to come in and put the infrastructure, and then also just close in one of those Swiss cheese pieces we have in our community. So we look forward to welcoming these new residents and also providing higher level of service than they've seen to date.
What was the feedback from the neighborhood meetings? I mean, clearly they want to move forward with it. Was it tough to get? Were most of the neighbors for it?
So if I believe correctly, I think we have 77% of the residents who have agreed to the annexation. That's over the threshold that is required. Those neighborhood meetings were well attended. Engineering, planning, as well as legal were there. A lot of questions were about specifically how their new sewer system was going to work, the timeline, and then tax implications. So we provided a tax calculator, annexing in 2027. The first time that they would have city taxes would be in 2028.
What is the timeline for their sewer project?
So I believe the sewer project, I have it in front of me, survey and design is starting in October, and then we anticipate bidding of that project in May to June of next year, and construction late spring of 27.
What, is it a difficult project? Will it be really disruptive for them?
That's a good question. We anticipate a lot of it being done within the right-of-way area, so.
A lot of it will be bored
Yeah.
and not open trench cut, so we're gonna minimize as much damage as possible to those homes, but it will be a significant project, and will take a great deal of coordination with all those homeowners. There's a grant that will pay for a large portion of the sewer infrastructure.
Including the
through
tap
state.
in?
What's that?
Including the tap in?
I believe the lateral is on the.
Thank you.
She's hiding. I see you, Lindsay.
What was the question?
The lateral or the tap-in fee.
What's the cost to the resident?
So if I remember correctly, the grant pays for most of the project, including the tap fee, and then the property owners will owe around, I think it's $10,000, which will be paid in monthly installments over, I want to say 20 years. It's a fee that will be on top of the sewer charge, but it is significantly less expensive than if they
Than a new
were trying to do
septic.
this project on their own. The grant money covers the bulk of the project.
And I don't believe, Monica, correct me if I'm wrong here, but I don't believe a septic replacement would even be in the cards likely. So if the septic were to fail, I'm not certain that a new septic would go back into these areas. So
Because of
you're
the
really kind
soil.
of faced with a tough situation there. So this is, even if the septic's working today, at some point, getting these folks on sewer is gonna be the right path forward.
So about 10 grand per house, financed over 20 years.
20 years.
Thank you.
Are we having everybody hook up to the sewer when we annex them in, or is it voluntarily?
It's voluntary, I believe, to hook up to the sewer. They don't all have to hook up immediately.
Correct, yeah, we have 77, 78% that are ready to hook up to the sewer. We have a few that, as we were doing public meetings and they came to talk to us, were more interested in hooking up to the sewer, but we still have a few that I think have recently replaced, and so they're looking at maybe keeping their septic for a little bit until it fails.
As we all know, the most important thing is that there's a main line somewhere nearby that when their septic does fail, they can tap into it. Because this is what we've dealt with this neighborhood for years, is someone's septic's failing, but there's no main line anywhere nearby, and no one person can pay to get a main line sewer brought to their home. And so this affords people that opportunity.
First reading,
So this was 2 items. I apologize. So item 18, which was the resolution for the fiscal plan.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, motion by John, second by Tiffany. All those in favor of the adopting the fiscal plan, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, motion passes. And then the first reading for the voluntary. Yep, all right, thank you, Todd.
Up next is the Kinwood subdivision. This is, again, 2 items, Resolution 111725D and Ordinance 100625B. This is the Kinwood subdivision. Is a request to annex 6.59 acres, also known as the Rudabush property. So this is located off of East 136th Street and Promise Road. The summary of this is a voluntary annexation of 9 new R2 lots by Drees Home. Happy to answer any questions. This is the final reading.
Any questions? But so this is 2 different, we vote on
Yes.
both of these separately, right?
A fiscal plan.
Yep.
So motion to approve?
Second.
All right, motion by Selena, second by Tiffany to request the fiscal plan. All those in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? All right, the motion passes. Then the next 100625B, you kind of included them both in there, right, Ross? So I would entertain a motion.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Todd, second by Tiffany for the voluntary annexation. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, motion passes.
This last item is item number 22111725G. This is the Ketchum property annexation. This is a voluntary annexation for sewer connection, 0.44 acres. This is a first reading and does require a public hearing.
Does have a public, okay, so we'll call the public hearing to order. All right, we'll close the public hearing. Any questions, though, on that, or first reading? All right, first reading. Any other
Unfinished business.
unfinished business? No? So community comment, if anybody'd like to comment? Yeah, please, yes. State your name and somebody got the clock. Go ahead.
Hey, I'm Ross Reinhardt, 7704 Creekside Court. I'm fresh back from the wilds of northern Indiana up at Camp Tecumseh. I got the opportunity to go be a cabin parent for the HSE schools camp up there. And it was just such a tremendous thing to get to see. For those that don't know about it, it's the teachers create this opportunity for the high school students to come and volunteer to lead trail groups of 7th graders around camp, so they learn throughout the day, and it gives the high schoolers this chance to lead the trail groups. And it was just really cool to see, but it was also really cool to have this front row seat to watch our teachers in action. You get to hear kind of from afar throughout the school year as they're taking care of our students, but it was just really cool to be there and see them in action, how much they care for our students and how hard they were working. It just really highlighted for me how our schools are so much more than just an education. Several of the kids I heard talking about how this was the first time they'd slept away from home that far by themselves. And they, so it was just such a cool opportunity for them to stretch and grow. And it, like I said, it highlighted for me how much more than just education the schools are to our community. It really builds the opportunities for these students, builds their freedom, freedom to, no matter who you are in the community, be able to come and learn and achieve. It encapsulates our commitment to the children of our community, what it is that we want to be sure that they get opportunity-wise. So, being November, I just really wanted to share how thankful I was for a city that supports that. Clearly we saw, how the city values that as well and puts money behind that. That's something I would say our HSE schools and a city that supports them is something that I'm just incredibly thankful for. And I definitely, as a member of the community, want to make sure that we make sure our teachers feel supported and respected so they can stay focused on doing what they do best every day in our schools. Thank you.
Okay, thanks.
Ross, what grades are your children in?
They're now 3rd, 5th, and 7th. Yeah.
Thank you.
Growing up quick.
Any other community comment? All right, entertain a motion to adjourn. All right, we're adjourned. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.